Well, welcome to our 7K Hawaii Ohana Advanced 7K training. And today we're going to go through quite a few subjects all at one time real quick. And it's going to be very important for you. I know that many of you have been in the business only since February 26th or after that, but yeah, y'all are making a dramatic run. I call this my other Wayne Clark group. Okay, I got Wayne in February 15th of 2020, and he was hungry. He had a fire in his belly. He we had COVID strictly that after, and we built a huge business during the COVID lockdown. And so don't let anybody tell you that because of COVID and everybody staying indoors, you can't build a huge business, because that's untrue. We built a huge business. He made over 150,000 his first 12 months. He had some networking experience. He'd been in networking for about 4.5 years as he's doing his real estate business, but he was in a go nowhere network marketing company. And that basically is what I told him. And I said, if he joined me, if he's coachable and teachable, and he worked my system and didn't ask me a ton of questions and just did, then he could make a 6-figure income by the end of the year. And he did that. And he worked my system, but he didn't do 5 a day. He did 30 a day because he had a fire in his belly. And I told him he needed to do that for 2 years in a row, and he would lock in a 6-figure income for the rest of his life. And that's what he's doing. We worked really hard for 6 months together. Did more 3-ways with Wayne Clark than anybody until 7K Hawaii Ohana team came in. They kept me on a constant 3-way through Zooms, and that's even better way, because Zooms is like a personal meeting, like you're still one-on-one. We're talking to one another, eyeball to eyeball, almost belly button to belly button, but we are talking eyeball to eyeball, just like I'm talking to you eyeball to eyeball right now. And so I never want anyone to forget that you got to teach my system, those 7 pieces of paper. And if you don't get people involved on my system, you will not have a long-term residual business. I promise you, you won't. You'll have dropouts. But if you teach my system is you got to commit 2 years, and you got to commit 10 hours of your time, and you got to understand you get to earn while you learn, and then learn the big aspects of it. So now, with that said, I'm going to just move straight into the points that I want to do. And I'm going to pick on some of our favorite people in Hawaii, and I'm going to show some of your details, because I've got to show somebody's, and mine's too mature to really show what I need to show in these training. So Cheryl, you're our blossom. Cheryl and Gary, because of Cheryl and Gary, we have the 7K Hawaii Ohana team. Jim McClellan started it. He was sponsored in. He gave it a good try for about a month. And thank goodness he stayed connected in buying the coin, because he had not stayed, and George kept in contact with. But that's part of my system. Even people who tell you no today will join your business 3 years from now, or 2 years from now, or a year from now, or 6 months from now, or even 4 years from now. And only they will join either your business or someone else's business. If you don't stay in contact with them, you will see them in someone else's business, and you do not want that to happen. So with that said, I'm gonna jump straight to sharing a couple of things, and then we're going to go into the back office because it's very important to get into the back office. And so what I'm going to do and share here is this one thing right here. See, in buying a coin, let's say it's this person, that maybe sponsored a couple of people on their left and a couple of people on their right, like Jim did, but none of them took off. And it was almost a year later, not quite a year, that Brother Gary went to Jim because his gold business that he'd been doing for quite a few years basically shut down. And he had two people that really wanted some silver, and he wanted some silver too. And so he remembered Jim talking to him about 7K, and he kept up with 7K. So he had a choice. And I'm not going to tell Brother Gary's story. He needs to tell it himself, and I want him to tell it, but I'm going to summarize it. He had a choice. He could have went to 7K, and he could, because he's experienced, he's an experienced networker, and he could have said, hey, look, I want you to put me in touch with the top money earners in 7K. I want to talk to them. He could have done that, but he honored the fact that Jim talked to him about 7K. And so he went back to Jim and said, hey, look, we need some silver. Could you talk to me about 7K? And Jim really couldn't answer a lot of his questions. So he put him on the phone with George Donaldson, who I sponsored, one of the first person I sponsored. And Pastor Gary, basically, he was taking his wife to a medical appointment that day. He was in his car, and he just said, hey, look, I want to enroll. What's the best way to enroll? Tell me how to enroll. I want to do it, and I got some people that want to enroll. And he signed in with a business family pack. He didn't ask a ton of questions, because that's what I teach is a business family pack. And you're looking at it right here, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And that, whereas you can have 2 centers you get paid on, and your spouse can have 2 centers to get paid, just like a Costco membership. Okay. And by having 3, you're able to build a $1.95 million business long-term. But you got 2 control centers that control your rank and control your check. And you're in charge of them, and you don't have to ask people if they need to buy a coin or not to be active to you to keep your rank and get a paycheck. You're in control of your own business. Don't you want to be in control of your own business? Or do you want to have to beg, borrow, and plead with people? You don't want to beg, borrow, and plead with people. And so this is big business. Treat it like big business. You get to start a business for $900, $921, or $1,550. That's if you do $499, $499, $499, which is, by the way, what I did. Okay, now I don't teach that except for advanced training. But if somebody asks me, well, why don't I start with $499, $499, $499? I say that's the best way to start. And it is, because eventually you're going to work these centers, and you want the tools for them. And you don't want to pay fees either. And you get product for it. And you get the tools to really build those centers in the future. And if you duplicate that, what do you got? It's 150 points, 150 points, 150 points. That's 450 points. Go ahead, sign in a person at 450 points. And you got 50 points, you got 500. Hello, you want to make money quick? I'm going to tell you the right way to do this business. Okay, you sign in one business family pack, that's 450 plus your 50. That's 150. You got 600 points on the left and 600 points on the right if you do one on the right and one on the left. and you're a copper, and you did premiums, you got leadership points. And so if that's all you did, and you did that on Saturday, the day you joined, then you're going to get a $500 check, and you're going to roll over 100 points on both sides because you had a leadership point. In fact, you got several leadership points. You got 2 for this one and 2 for that one. You got 4 leadership points. And then you sponsored that person with a premium. So you got 6 leadership points. And you sponsored that person, you got 8 leadership points. And you use a leadership point to roll over volume. And so you help that person do the same thing. Now, of course, I don't tell this to everyone. I tell it in advance, or I tell it to people who ask me. I put the $4.99, $1.99, $1.99 to make it convenient for people, make it more affordable for many people to stretch themselves, because you're going to end up with a business family pack sooner or later, and everybody ends up with one. And so why not start off your business that way? Buy the empty lot next door on your left side and the empty lot next door on your right side, and use it as a control center. Now, notice, if you start with a business family pack, you're an associate. You're already qualified to make a check. And when you sponsor that one person on your left and that one person on your right, and they come in with a business family pack, you're a copper, because you got one here and one here, one here and one here. You're a copper. And then if you duplicate that, like Wayne did, this person sponsors a business family pack on the left, this person sponsors a business pack on the right, that person's a copper, and that person's a copper because they did the same thing. And all you have to do is sponsor another person, your third person, you're bronze. Now you're eligible to earn $2,000 a week. You keep your rank ahead of your business. So go for silver in 90 days. Go ahead and get that $3,000 bonus, that silver bar of 100 ounces that the company provides you as a bonus. You get to earn your checks and your bonus, and you get the rank and keep your rank ahead of your organization. So when your organization grows to 100 on each side, or then to 1,000 on each side, you can easily rank back up to silver just by buying some coins, making the actives you need left and right to become that rank to get paid that day. So who wouldn't buy up to 5 coins to get paid an extra $500? Because your coins are free to make the actives to be silver. If you've already previously been silver and these centers are inactive. Let me illustrate by how to use that downline report of how to manage your business and how to keep yourself active to the rank that you need to get paid what you want to get paid. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mute everybody. I'm going to do that now. Just 1 second. Let me get that done, and then we'll be back. Okay, so hopefully that worked. And let me share my screen once more. And let's go to the organization chart, where it is, somewhere around here. There we go. And let's go sign in to 7K. I think I've signed in already. Yes. And before I do that, I want to hit a couple of other subjects. Like I said, I'm going to hit quite a few subjects here. Bang, bang, bang. But this is advanced training. These are things you need to learn if you want to optimize your check and make big money. Okay. if you notice right now, I'm a goal. I need to be an executive goal. Why do I need to be an executive goal? Well, I need 2 more actives to be an executive goal, and I need a goal on my left and a goal on my right to be an executive goal. Also need a personally sponsored bronze and on my left and my right to be an executive goal. Now, I can be that fairly easily, but right now, this week, as of today, right now, and the paycheck's not over with, I'm giving up $2,000 in income, and because they're gonna only pay me 7,000, but 9,000. If we ended the payroll today, right now, this was midnight Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Hawaii time, Saturday, then they would subtract 9,199 points from my left side, 9,199 points from my right side, and points are dollars, you remember. And then they would pay me a $7,000 check. So I'm losing $2,000 in income because I'm not an executive goal. Now, this has happened many, many weeks since Hawaii's been announced, because all my time has been concentrated on helping people in Hawaii and helping other people in my other groups. And I hadn't spent a little time on me yet. But that's my fault, not anybody else's fault. And I don't blame anybody. Okay. And I don't blame me. Fortunately, I was already blessed before 7K came around. And so this is all just extra gravy for me, and a lot of extra gravy. And I really appreciate it. And it's really building a family legacy for me. But the same thing can happen to each and every one of you. And you're on the prefaces of just the beginning. This company's only 4.5 years old. We're going to talk about that real quick. But one of the things that you've been sending some messages out, and people, even you in the business, you need to start doing this, and you need to start duplicating. Duplication is what makes you successful. Duplication is what builds you a big income. And so if you'll notice, these are the points that are going to be purchased every week just in AutoSavers. This does not include people who are doing renewals, and renewals happen every day, okay, or happen once a month, okay. And so your automatic renewal doesn't process automatically on the day that you're supposed to renew. It processes in batch by the company on the first of the month following the month that you're supposed to renew. That's why it's incumbent on you and I to work with our success group and get our people to renew on the date that they're supposed to renew, or somewhere close to it, but not on the first. Because if I have 30 renewals coming due on the left side, or 40 in a month, then they're going to add to this, and it's just going to add to be like this. And that's what's been happening. Okay. So the first next week, guess what my check is before it even starts? It's $7,000. And next week, because of our growth, because Dara's going for silver, Paul's going for silver in 90 days, Betty's going for silver. I mean, that's going to happen. And I'm going to throw another $2,000, $3,000 away because I'm not executive goal. But that's okay. That's my choice. But believe me, I'm about to be executive goal. Okay. And I'm going to take care of that. And it's not going to divert my attention from any of you. Okay. But here's the other point that I'm trying to do. Everybody shouldn't be ordering their coin on the first of the month. That is a default date that everybody gets signed in, goes to the first on the automatic send. And I teach people to change that date based on the date that you sign in. Your favorite date should be the 8th, 21st, and 26th. That's where you really should be setting your AutoSaver. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do that. Every time you sponsor someone, you're automatically active again for another 32 days. So you should go in and change your AutoSaver, and you should change it to either the 8th, the 15th, 21st, or 26th. But the priority is the 8th, the 21st, and the 20th, because eventually you want your own group to have these that they're even and not all on a couple of days. Look at my right group. You see those 2 dates? Well, so I'm now teaching this again. I got away from teaching it for almost a whole year, and look what happened. I used to have mine pretty even because I taught it all the time, every month. I reminded people. But look what happens if you don't teach and you don't, your small group, you need to communicate this on a regular basis and remind people when they sponsor someone, they can change their auto ship. When they buy a coin through a coin drop, they can change their auto ship. And that saves them money. And then they can buy coins as they need them to get their sets when they need to make actives to get checks. Oh, when they need to make actives to get checks. So I want you to have the coins. I want you to have be able to buy in the coin drops. But the company's going to run the coin drops on the dates that help them. And when is that? On the first of the week, and on the 15th. You watch their coin drops on the dates that the 1st and the 15th hit the vast majority of the time. They just had their first coin drop this last week for the first time, not on those 2 weeks. First time. But they had coins that they needed to sell. And I was so happy that happened. That worked out good for a lot of people, and a lot of people got to change their day. How do you find out that? Well, first of all, what you want to do is you can always go into profile, your own profile, and you can see the number of days that you active. So I've got 22 more days left that I'm active. Okay, so if it's 22 more days, it's 10 days ago. This is 31st. That means I need to have my auto ship set for the 21st. Let's go and see what my AutoSaver is set for. Oh, looks like I got it right. And I'm not going to get any American Eagle. I'm about to start changing. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to change this. Okay, I want some silver I want free silver, meaning I get it at the best cost every month, so I can dollar cost average my silver, because I want silver. I don't want dollar bills. Okay, so I'm going to delete the American Eagles because they pretty much are sold out on those. They are saving those to put in our coins instead of just selling them bulk. They right now have more American Eagles to sell than any other single company out there, but they're not selling them in bulk because you and I, we don't get commission on that. We get commission on what? That MS-70 basic coin, that American Silver Eagle. And that's where we want it, because in the future, when the American Eagle price goes up to $60, $80, $90, $100, well, aren't we glad we've been buying this MS-70 for $105? That's unbelievable. And so I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to go to products. Okay. Even though it's after hours, even though it's Saturday, I'm going to dealer direct, and I'm going to add, because I'm on the 21st. So I'm going to add some bullion coins that I know they pretty much keep in stock pretty much all the time, or pretty close to it. It's either the Buffalo I can get, or the Britannica. I could get generic, or I could get Cougarins, or I could get maple leaves. And right now, you know what? I'm going to get me some Buffaloes, because I like the price. Why? I mean, silver. I could get Philharmonics too. I like the price of Philharmonics. and that's a country's currency, Austria, and that's a great coin. I have lots of Philharmonics. I have lots of Maple Leaf. I have lots of Cougarans now. That's a new type coin anyway, because Cougaran, they didn't do a 1 ounce coin until 2019, their first one. Okay. And we got some of those, the MS-70s even. But I choose, I'm wanting silver, so I could get the Britannica. That's another great, that's a UK coin, 31.55. That's even better deal. In fact, I think I'm going to get some Britannicas. I like the Buffaloes, but I still like that. So I'm going to go into Britannica, and I'm going to change the date to the 21st, and I'm going to say add to AutoSaver. 1, 2. Every time I click on it, it's going to add 1. 3, 4, 5. Now let's go check my auto ship. And bingo, I just added 5 Great Britain 1 ounce silver Britannicas, 2021s, by the way, to my order. So my shipping basically is going to be free or very nominal, maybe $1 extra. And if I'd ordered those 5 and just had them shipped to me, that would have been $7.99 in shipping. So I'm consolidating my shipping, and so I'm getting my silver at the best price, almost free shipping. And sometimes it is free shipping because they go on dollar value, not weight. Okay, so that's one thing, and you can do that if you're interested in silver. And that's one way that I teach people to accumulate wealth on a regular basis and not make the $1.2 million mistake either, and keep your business active on your main account. And so now, how do we go about doing the other thing that I was talking about? Why we're going to go to downline, and Cheryl, I'm going to pick on you. Okay, it's not picking on you. I'm going to just show you how I do what I do and teach everybody, and we're going to be showing your business, if that's okay. Now, Cheryl, if you don't want me to do that, you put in chat, please don't show mine. Then I'll show Pastor Gary's. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to my leaders. This just gives me a quick way to get there. And I see Cheryl and I see Jim. Now, see Jim, he's a silver, and he needs to be a silver to make his $3,500 check. Now, Jim, if he's got a leadership point, he doesn't need to worry about it. He'll have 435 points roll over. So he doesn't need to try to make that 3,500. But if he has no leadership points, those 435 points will go to what? His loyalty points. And he'll get paid a $3,000 check. Well, he only needs 65 points to get a $3,500 check. So if I were Jim, I'd be looking how to get 65 points if I have no leadership points. If I got leadership points, I'm not even going to worry about it. Just let her ride and make a $3,000 check, start off next week with a $250 check, because 435 points will roll over. So let's look at Cheryl. She's silver. Okay, so he better stay silver, or otherwise he's going to, if he drops the bronze tonight at midnight, he'll only get a $2,000 check. So he needs to do what I'm doing. So I'm going to use Cheryl to do it, because Cheryl has 1,700, and I'm going to explore Cheryl's downline. So let me show you how you control your business. You always look just at personals only, because that's the only thing that counts for your rank. And then you look at one side at a time so you don't confuse yourself. So let's look at the right side, and let's look at Cheryl's right side, and we say she needs to stay silver 5 actives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, she almost has enough to become gold. Well, let's see. Let's check inactives. Wow, she got enough to become gold. So if she needed to rank up to gold, and if she had a silver on her left and right, all she need to do is buy a coin on Walter and have it shipped to her. And that make him active, and she'd have 8 actives. But she doesn't need that. So I'll give you a lot of advanced training here. Okay, so we look across here, and this one is 30 days. So man, and this one's 30 days, that one's 30 days, and that one's 30 days. Well, you got 3 of them here, 4, that will not become inactive today. And in fact, none of them will become inactive soon because they got like 6 days more of activity, including today, because they give you a grace period. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's ask the question, who will become inactive soon? You see these countdowns? Now, this is on her whole right side. Now, these aren't necessarily personals. This is just everybody in her group. And notice when they start giving you a countdown at 4 days. So once you pass your 32 days, you got a 4. So in essence, you got almost 36 days of activity. And so if you manage it properly, own your own accounts. Don't try and do it. Don't try to optimize. People will forget. They'll go inactive. They'll lose all their loyalty points as soon as they go inactive. You don't want that to happen. That's why you need to be on AutoSaver. The accounts that you're sure accounts you're building, you always put them on AutoSaver. You have no concern about, well, trying to just pinpoint it to the exact day of active and inactive. You will lose big time, and you'll lose a lot of points when you do that. So you're going to have this kind of warning that comes through, and like these that say inactive in 1 day, that is today. So at midnight tonight, you will see this afternoon, it will go inactive and then turn yellow. Now, Helen, we looked at Helen and we see she is not on AutoSaver. So she has a danger of her account going inactive today. Not on AutoSaver. Another one, Joy, not on AutoSaver. Another one, Jake, not on AutoSaver. Another one. 2 days, got another day, but not on AutoSaver. See that? Okay. So this is kind of how you look at your whole organization. But see, those are other people. They will find that in doing what I'm doing with Cheryl. So let's go back to what is important. Personals. Okay. So we know that her own personals on her right side, Cheryl has no problem in her rank. So let's go to her left side. Colleen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6. She's got 6 and only 1. Jan. Let's look at Jan anyway. AutoSaver, no problem unless the credit card doesn't purchase. Okay, doesn't process. And that'll happen sometimes if people don't update their credit card when they get a new credit card. Or get the number changes or the date expiration date changes. And every time that happens, you got to go in your profile, update your credit card. Now, So she has no problem with her active. She's going to stay silver. Okay. Now, Colleen, let's check. Colleen's got to stay copper for her to stay. Uh, Olaf has to stay bronze for her to stay silver. So Olaf is the only one we need to look at. We look at Olaf and we look at what? Olaf, then we look at personals. Okay, that's the only thing that counts. We look at the right side. Olaf, to be a bronze, must have 3 on the left and 3 on the right. So we look at the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, got plenty. Also must have a copper on the right to be a bronze. And so got 1 copper, Marion. Now we're going to come back and we're going to look at Marion, but we're first checking Olaf's personals. Got to have 3 on the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4. And so the 30-day, not going to be a concern, but until next week. And so we got a copper on the left and a copper on the right. So now we're going to look at Beverly. Okay. We look at Beverly, we look at personals, and got to have 2 on the left and right to be a copper, and an associate on the left and right, and got plenty of insurance. So you got an associate, a copper, and an associate, got more than 2. So they're actually really trying, getting close to ranking up to bronze. This is a completing organization, a building, a filling in. That's a solid organization I'm seeing being built. And then on the left side, got to have 2, and Beverly to stay a copper. Well, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4. The associate got 2 associates because she got back up. So even if this associate became inactive, got no problem. So there is 0 problems with this staying an associate, maybe. So how do we check this real quick? We say, who is going inactive soon? None. So even her associates are going to stay associates because nobody's going inactive soon. So we go back to personals and we go back to her right side. So we know we got a copper, an associate. We got plenty of room. So let's do the same thing. Who is going inactive soon? Okay, we got a couple. They're going 4 days from now. So this is not going to affect Cheryl at all. Okay, so we know that Olaf is going to stay bronze. So we're going to go back to Cheryl. We looked at one side of her, and that was her right side with, her left side with Olaf. Now we're going to look at her right side with Ann Kealoha, and she's a bronze. We're going to look at Ann, and we look at Ann's downline. What are we looking at? Personals only. We look at personals, and we look at right side, and we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and more than enough. She only needs 3 to stay bronze. Look at her left side, and got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got a goal. Look, I don't even have to go any further when you got a goal or bronze or silver here, because they only need to stay a bronze. So all they need is a copper. Okay. So I don't need to go any further. Okay. And I only need 1, 2, 3 to be active. And that's fine. That's going to stay bronze. So let's go back to the right side. That's our weakest side. That's the side we need to check. So Travis is the copper. Got to stay copper for Cheryl to stay silver. So we look at Travis, and we look at his downline, and we look at what? Personals only. That's the only thing that counts. Okay. Now, I could look at inactives too, but I have to check it to see inactives. And I would if I didn't have enough. But as long as I got enough, I don't have to look at inactives, because when I look at inactives, it'll have more people, but I might just have to order a coin. That's all. Okay. So we look at personals, and we look at the right side, we got to have 2. Left side, we got to have 2. We got 2 on the right side, and we got an associate. So let's check who will go inactive. Nobody. So our right side's good with Travis. Okay, we go back to personals, and we look at left side. And now we got left side and right side. We got Halbert. He's 30 days. We're okay for this week. This is Saturday. Now, it could be looking at this on Friday, and it would have said 29. And I know I'm okay too. So we definitely want to check on payroll day. Okay. But I like to check starting in Friday is when I like to check. I like to know what's coming up. I like to do my stuff on Friday when an office is open, and I have more flexibility because I can call the office and order a coin under somebody. Well, let's look at Albert. He's an associate, or, I can look at it 2 ways. I can see who's going to become inactive, and I get no matches. Okay. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at Halbert. Okay. I'm going to click, and I see he's on AutoSaver. I'm going to click on Halbert, and I say who's in his downline. And I see 2. Okay. I see Frank, and I see Dwight. I look at Dwight. Hey, he's not on AutoSaver. I write his name down, Dwight Melvin, because 30 days. I look at Frank. He's on AutoSaver. Okay. So out of Cheryl's whole organization, the only person she has to really worry about next week is Dwight. And she still stays silver if she wants. Now, if Dwight's not ordering a coin, she could order a coin under Dwight and have it shipped to her by calling the office and having it done. There's other things you can do if you need to in a rush, and you need to call me on those urgent situations before 7 p.m. Saturday on Hawaii time. Okay, if you run into a crunch like that. Now, here's the real key. We go back to my leaders. I'm going to go back to the leaders, and I'm going to show one thing again. Go to left side, and I want to pull down leaders again. And I'm going to go now. Each silver that's trying to stay silver for 90 days, you need to be doing this like on Thursdays and seeing ahead of time what you need to get done to stay active, because that's a $3,000 bar. I mean, you can buy a lot of coins and have coins worth something and still come out net positive to get that silver bar to stay active for 45 days. Okay. And that's what you want to do. It's well worth it. I believe in don't spend more money than you're going to make. Okay. And so as long as it's economically viable, do it. Okay. Same thing. When it's not necessary, it's not necessary to spend. Okay. Gary built his business, won a silver bar, and dropped to bronze, but he's already won a silver bar. But Gary doesn't have enough volume. There's no sense for him to, I'm going to pick on Pastor Gary now. There's no sense for him to be a silver right now, because there's no economics for him. So we look at, same thing with Pastor Gary, and we look at his right side, and we'll look at his right side. And the reason he dropped to bronze is Eric was his bronze, dropped to copper. But again, Eric doesn't need to be bronze because he's got 280, 234, and 405 in volume. However, if he had over 2,000 points on each side, he definitely want to be bronze, because why? You wouldn't want those points to flush. Okay, so when Eric is building his business back, and on his left side, he needs to be silver, 5 actives. Well, he's got a silver on his left side. We have no problem there. But let's look and see. He's got 2 inactives. So he could order a coin here and become a silver if Eric was a bronze again. So he's got his rank ahead of his business. As his business builds and grows and grows and grows, and volume starts coming up, he can easily rank back up to silver. Okay, and he's continuing to sponsor people because he's continuing to want to have people who want to purchase their coin every month because they want to develop a residual income and help other people do the same thing. So I hope that helped understand how to use this to control your rank, make your rank, keep your rank, and how to evaluate what you spend versus what you earn. And that's the whole game. That's what your job is. Learn how to manage your big business, because it's big business, not small business. Okay. With that said, I want to jump back into a couple of other real quick subjects. And that I see is not happening, and we need to make this happen in 7K Hawaii Ohana team. Okay, when everybody joins, you want to get them on 2 apps. Okay, well, actually 3. Okay, one of the first things you want to get them on, it's an app I started, and it's called the Band app, and you want to get them on the 7K Hawaii Ohana team. As you see, we got over 1,250 members in 7K Hawaii Ohana team, but there's only 52 of you on this app. Wrong. You want everybody in your team on this app. And how do they get on it? Special invite only. You have to be on it to invite your team member on it. If you're not on it, get your sponsor to invite you. If your sponsor's not on it, get their sponsor. And if they're not on it, you get to Pastor Gary and you get to me, because we'll invite you. And then you make sure you send an invite to everyone you personally sponsor. You need to be on this app if you want to stay in tune to what's happening. I post in here all my trainings. And so you get to review them anytime. And then you need to be on, if you're in Pastor Gary's group, and I'm sure Jim has one in for him, or he's setting it up, or other leaders, they have a communication app inside their group of things that they want their group to know about. And I know Pastor Gary has one for his group. Okay, so you want to get on that to find out what's going on, when things are happening. You're going to get on mine. This is mine. So if you want to know what I teach, what I do, what I'm communicating, what I'm putting out, and you're not getting it, well, you get it direct from me if you're a member of this app. It's the 7K Hawaii Ohana team. and it's only for the 7K Hawaii Ohana team. I don't want other people from other groups in here, and you aren't to invite them. This is specifically for you and for your people. And you're going to get all my trainings posted right here that I'm doing for 7K Hawaii Ohana team. Okay. And when I see something that's going on, you're going to get to know. I'm about to post something brand new to this 7K Hawaii Ohana team. And so I'm going to show you as I post it. How about that? Isn't that pretty neat? I'm going to see. I bet I can't do it because I got the app opened. Let's see if I can. Oh, I know how I do it because I just downloaded it. I can. Y'all get to see it. And go to my 7K medals. And I'm going to post a couple of pictures. 7K hotspots map. 7K hotspot. I should have known where these things are ahead of time. Oh, there it is. Okay. And I wonder if I can do two at one time. I'm going to try. Let's see. Oh, good. Oh, super. Here is the latest 7K hotspots in mainland as of, I think it's 7/26/2021. I should, and I'm going to post. Huh? And how do I post? There we go. I hadn't done it on the computer, so I can't see my whole screen. So what I just posted is here's the 7K hotspots in mainland as of 7/26/21 and in Hawaii. And if you notice, this is my groups down here, basically. And it used to be when this business first started in 4.5 years ago, the hotspots were Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. They were the big red spot. You notice they hardly even get a green right now. And it's mostly from Idaho and Colorado. Okay, Utah, Colorado rather. And, look what's growing here in Michigan. Oh, I think Pastor Gary's in Michigan, isn't he? Well, here's the hot spots. Florida, the northern part of Florida, central up to the northern, and getting over into, Panama City even, and Philadelphia, New Jersey area. The hotspot used to be Long Island, New York a long time ago, but that's since really cool. Okay. And so look at all that we got to fill in, everyone. We're only 4.5 years old. And look at Hawaii. But just Oahu has almost 1 million population, and we only have 1,200 people or 1,200 memberships, 1,250 memberships. And so we got a lot of work to do, a lot of room for growth. And then we got all the rest of the countries to expand in. You notice Australia, New Zealand, they don't even have a hotspot. UK now has its first silver. And so it's got a little tinge like this over in the UK. And we've been open in the UK for only about 6 months. So it's kind of like Hawaii. They're growing now. And so it's time for us. Hawaii is the gateway to the world. And it's time for the 7K Ohana team to really expand and grow. You got growth internal, growth across the islands, and then growth in all the countries we're currently open in, even the mainland. So ping pong, like many of you have, okay, because many of you have business back in Washington, has business. Dar's in Washington. Hello, Dar. I see you. You're about to be a red spot, okay? And Michigan, we're about to have business in more in Michigan, and Wisconsin's going to wake up, right, Paul? All right, and Eric, and then we got Chemo in Panama City, Florida, and so it's time to bust that thing wide open. And so we got opportunity, and staying abreast of what's happening is how you learn how to do it. The other thing that you want to become a member of, and you do this on your own, if you're a member of Facebook, just go to Facebook, put in the search 7K exclusive, just like this, 7K exclusive. And then you'll ask to join. The company has to approve it. This is for 7K members only. You kind of get to stay up to date with what other people are posting. I hardly ever post anything here, but I do kind of stay up to speed with what other people are saying and what the company posts there. So my thing is I stay up with what the company posts there. And so you'll want to be a member of that also, just to do kind of like I do. You don't have to post anything there, you know, but it's a good place to kind of stay in tune. Okay. And you also want to become part of my, what I call my YouTube site. And so you go to YouTube and you'll search for Bob Reid space 7K metals. So if you search for Bob Reid 7K metals, you're going to come to my channel, okay? And it's going to look kind of like this. And it'll start playing a video, but I don't want it to play. And you can get a free YouTube account if you're not a member of YouTube. You should get your own YouTube account. It's free. And then you want to come and search for mine, and you want to subscribe to my YouTube site. And then you want to click on the notification bell, and you want to be notified every time I post a new training to YouTube, so you'll know and you can go there. And then you will see things called playlists when you go to my channel, and then you'll have different subjects that I train on in 7K, and you get to learn about all of them and different playlists. And you can watch as many anytime you want, wherever you want, at your own rate and your own speed. Okay. So I know there was a lot of subjects that I had for you at one time, but you need to know this if you want to make the big bucks and if you want to really be able to help people and be knowledgeable and develop the skills, attitudes, and techniques that you need to build a big business. And I want to thank you for your time and attention, and make sure you get on the band app. That's an important thing for you to do. I only got 52 members there out of 1,250 people. I want to see 1,000 members on that band app. Thank you.